go. Another exciting edition of the show is on the way today. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Today's going to be a good one.
That's what you're feeling in your bones?
That's what I'm feeling.
Not chill?
That arthritis and gout. All
Gout?
of the above I'm feeling deep down in my bones here on the 20th of June.
Can't be right, Dean. That's got to be a typo.
Summer solstice. Just around the corner.
Tomorrow?
Right there. Tomorrow.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You want to have a huge party.
Well, I just thought we
How's
should
that
do
coming
something.
together? Yeah, I'm in.
I think you grab a bag of Zooms and give her.
Yes. March into the forest and stay up till the sun goes down.
A bag of Zooms.
Zippy zamzow.
Yeah.
Zoomy, zoomy, zoomy.
Where does one get those?
Colorado.
Yeah?
Into the forest. You can pick them
Right,
yourself.
the forest. That's right.
Please consult a Zoomy expert before picking your own.
Yeah, I don't we don't need to go down that.
All right.
No,
How are we doing, everybody? It's a chilly one here, Retro. Pinder has declared it a soup day.
Official soup day.
All right. What flavor and what are we going with here, fellas?
Well, I'm going to go to the pub about 8 blocks to the south of here and see what the soup of the day is. And if they fail to be up to what I believe will be a good soup of the day for this horrible, wet, cold, windy day, I'll move to another establishment. I'm not going to be waiting around.
Good boy. Good.
It's a soup day.
It's very low tolerance.
I'm not
soup tolerance. Yeah.
Sorry, I just turned my weather app on. 6?
And wet and windy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's
Okay.
pretty much what it was yesterday, unfortunately, for the
While you were smashing driver down the fairway, dead center.
not a lot of fairway dead center, but yeah, smashing driver
What was
into the trees.
so tell us about the event. It was a
Well, it was the
what-
Rocky Mountain Rotary charity golf tournament, which is great. A lot of Cochrane boys out there, the young fellas out there supporting. Tons of alums. Saw Patter, Glennie, Dylan Dubé was there, not an alumni, a current player, obviously.
Yeah.
Kalanos was there, a bunch of fellas. I think Wes Lysak was there from the stands.
Attaboy, Wes.
Lots of, on and on and on the list goes, including some pals and partners. And a great day was kind of had. I mean, everything that they can control went perfectly.
Yeah.
Right? You can't order the weather. So I felt bad for that. I also felt bad for the gal on the 10th tee box whose tent flew up and shattered the windshield of a display car on the tee box. Tough day to be a promo girl and or golfer.
Insurance.
Let's hope so.
That's why we have it.
It's complicated. Is that not the God, Rhett, or what's the insurance company?
Is there a
saying?
video of that? That would be something to see.
No, we showed up just after, and yeah.
Tears?
No, just a lot of
Dismay.
So whose fault is this? Because I didn't start the wind, and I put the sandbags on the legs, and I didn't park the car there, and well, we just parked the car here, and we didn't put the tent up, and we didn't order the wind either.
Who parked that car there?
I mean, it's supposed to be a display model. It's supposed to be on the tee box. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was worried for both sides. There was not a lot of confidence in what the outcome would be.
So a chilly day, windy, cold, and
Yes.
you had
Shorts on.
right.
It was not a short stay. I was trying to will it. Anthony from Village was trying to will it as well. He was smart enough to have the audible to put the rain pants over his shorts when needed, whereas I was stuck in shorts for 6 hours.
I'm surprised. I thought
6.
you'd be better prepared for stuff like that.
Well, I had to shed a couple layers for the Wolverine because he showed up with a hoodie and Air Jordans on. So I was deep into my stash of supplies, but
He's
you
from
know what?
Alberta, right? Like he's
He's
grew up
moving
in the
right now, and he's like,
boots,
that shit's in my garage.
Yeah,
So we
that's
had to
right.
loan some stuff for him. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, for the Rotary, because now we were talking
There's
with
some money.
Sheldon from over at Grey Eagle. He
Yeah.
is part of that, and
He's the chair.
He's
of
the chair.
isn't that
and
fancy.
it's multiple charities. It's one of those things. It's
Tons,
like,
yeah.
well, now this group needs some help, and this group, and now this
Yeah.
group. It's kind of like
We were
an all-encompassing good guys.
We were sending some kids to camp yesterday with the
that's
silent
good.
auction. That was great. Some people are going to Hawaii, deep sea fishing trips, Steelers, Raiders in Vegas, November. There was all kinds of great things going on.
Bills, Raiders, and Buffalo.
That was not an item there, but I think we should look into that, Rhett.
Just saying.
Wait till that
Which
Sabres
team will
schedule.
Stephon Diggs be playing for that day? I
Oh
wonder.
dear. Is that still contentious? Didn't he show up?
Oh,
showed
there's
up.
plenty of turmoil in Buffalo for a team
Yeah.
that's supposed to be so good and tight knit.
I read this morning he would like some input on the play calling. That's kind of the latest
That's an
thing
interesting
now.
ask.
Yeah.
Well, at least they got that new stadium with no roof coming.
Is it too late to put a lid on it, or can they?
Oh dear.
Did they? Because they started digging, right?
This is our big idea, you guys. We're
I
going
know.
to design an inflatable, movable
Roof.
Right.
Roof.
Put a roof on it.
They're going to be able to just drone it up there, plop it in place when need be.
I think he's already done the mushrooms.
Yeah, I think so. The Zoomers. Breakfast
How
Zoomers.
could we could do it?
We could do it.
Well, you see that sometimes.
bunch
The
of
Stampeders
air.
have it, right? You have those big, it's like a big hair dryer thing, and it inflates the Stampeders. They run out of them, and you see them all the time. Just make it really big with a bunch of hair dryers, and then it comes
easy. It only needs to cover a 70,000 seat stadium with good weather.
I
right?
said lots of hair dryers.
I'm with you. I mean, Rhett would know more about the climate there. I'm a little worried what happens when you get this snow effect of like 2 meters of snow on an inflatable roof, but maybe it's deflated at the time. I don't know.
Wasn't it in Minnesota and Detroit at the domes there where the snow just broke right through?
He's muted right now. I think he's trying to
The blow dryers are hot air.
Right.
So
Hotter to keep it warm.
the snow,
It's gonna melt the snow.
It just slides off. Jeez, this is not difficult.
I feel like you could solve Buffalo's climate issues right now. Like, let's turn this into a tropical locale. Just keep those dryers running.
There's no issues right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
There
not
you go.
here. Share some.
We are here in the Tower Chrysler studios. Tower Chrysler, Southern Alberta's #1 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer. I checked in with Serge. I said, Serge, we need a sugar/red meat update.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't get one,
But
I did get this. Our boy, he's out enjoying his best life. That is him.
make him guess.
Can you decipher there, Retro? Who is to
Mr. Fuhr, one of
Is
the greatest
that right?
ever.
That
That
is
is
Hall
a
of Fame goaltender, and as most people remember him, a former Flame goaltender.
Flame's great.
Grant
Forever Flame.
Fuhr.
Is
That's
he in the
right.
rafters? I believe he is.
Is
No.
what?
Fuhr in the rafters, obviously.
Yeah, you put his number up there. Damn
What
right.
a run for the Flames.
Mm-hmm.
Smiling like Grant Fuhr would.
You know what?
Yeah.
They should just do it to be dicks to Edmonton. It'd be awesome. Yep.
Still
We're gonna
retiring
put
all the
Grant Fuhr's number up.
Steve Smith's
Yeah.
going up. That would be the one.
That'd be a good one. Yeah,
Because he was
huge
here.
contributor to Flames
Smith
playoff
Fuhr
success.
combo. It's going to be a big night down at the Dome.
Yeah.
So good.
So there's Serge is in Palm Springs,
Look at the
and
sleeve on all Surge.
apparently,
Jeez.
it's on both. If you see the next photo, so that's his right arm. Got on both sides. Look at Serge. That is
Jesus.
Riker Evans, the Calgary.
Why is
kid.
he down there suckholing with like the
Calgary
AHL?
kid.
I don't know that he's suckholing. I think
Don't know
he's
what that means.
down there enjoying.
Some great playoff hockey, Dean.
We told what it's 6 and rainy here. He's in Palm Springs.
Yeah,
Well,
really.
the
Are we
Palm
questioning
Springs
that?
would be like 40. It
Yeah.
ain't no good in June, mid-June.
I know what I'd prefer. Hanging out in a rink in Palm Springs, perfect.
Why is he in a rink?
Because it's the finals of the AHL.
Oh, I thought it was over.
There's-
My kid told me Hershey won the AHL championship.
So it was 3-0 out of the gate for Coachella Valley. I think. No, hang on. Well, game 1, 5-0. Game 2, 4-0. They lost game 3 in overtime. So at that point, it's
2-1.
2-1. My bad. So I missed that. Then the Bears win 1. Now it's even. Steven 2-2. Then 1-0 in overtime. Jesus, 0-0 in overtime.
3-2.
And they won last night to force
Game
Game 7 on Wednesday.
back there.
It will be at Coachella Valley.
Yeah.
It's still the most idiotic
3-2-3?
schedule ever.
2-3-2.
2-3-2. Whatever.
2-3-2. It's not a best of 5. But Evans, I believe, is a Regina Pat.
He was a Regina Pat.
It was everyone's looking at Bedard the year before his
What
draft.
kind
This
of
kid's good too.
Blowhard. I don't want to speak ill of Serge, but is he
Turncoat?
this far up the Oilers.
I told him. I
He's
said
down
I
there
just
watching.
down there frolicking and hanging out with.
Or is this circumstantial, or did he go to? Was he down there? They just happened to be playing. Okay, whatever.
Didn't he
But if
say?
he's down there on purpose, ooh.
Well, didn't he say he was kind of connected with Evans? Didn't
Yeah,
trying
somehow,
to
some
remember one
way
of our-
they'd met.
so that's probably what it is down Palm Springs. Hey,
May
the
as well
kid's
check
playing
in.
for
Right,
this
it's phone
thing,
call.
and we'll go to a
Yeah.
game and meet him after that sort of thing.
yeah,
Is
Seattle's
Evans-
farm team.
Yeah,
and then he's
it's
like,
still-
"Oh, look, there's Grant Fuhr. I'm going to get a photo." It doesn't really.
Kraken farm team.
Kraken.
Snapping towels, eh, Serge?
Oh dear.
That's not the right video.
You sent me the wrong video.
Nope, the one you have up there is the wrong video.
How
With
about
the
our
nose and the
I
mouth.
don't
screen, at least
see
that's
any
right.
videos at all.
We played that one already.
Okay.
Take a look. So yeah, Serge living a good life, looking good. I'm from the looks of it, still off sugar.
Looking lean, looking really fit, lean.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the red meat though. If he's off sugar, red meat's going to be careful, Serge. That's a temple all of a sudden.
That's the only one in there, Boom.
I see. More red meat, please, and thank you.
Talk amongst yourselves if
Yeah,
you
we had
want.
lots of red meat on the course yesterday, Retro. Burgers, courtesy of the Grey
Well-fed.
Eagle on the 9th tee box. And then steaks afterwards, more burgers on other holes.
How was the course? You'd never played there.
I hadn't played Bear's Paw. I think I'd caddied it as a kid. I was quite impressed. There's a few holes that are blind, so it's a bit of target, but I'd been told, oh, you're not going to use your driver. I was like, no, that's not true. There was lots of lines you could take. And I guess if you'd never played it before, it'd be a little like, where do I go here? But God, we had one guy that played it 6 years ago. He knew exactly the plan everywhere. It was great. I thought that was a better course than I was expecting. A big shout out to their head pro, Mike, who finished third in our Masters pool, and such a good guy, gave everyone around at Bear's Paw that finished top 5 in our Masters pool, just out of the goodness of his own
That's
heart.
unbelievable.
He's working the mic. He was doing a great job out there.
Attaboy, Mike.
Attaboy, Mike.
So nice of him.
My
I'll
kid
get-
broke a club yesterday, so I beat him with it.
Oh dear!
Did
Can't
you?
joke about that?
Retro.
Jesus,
Come on.
right? You want to cross a border here soon?
Jeez.
What are you doing?
Come on, you two.
You just cleared your name.
Broke a club.
Come on now.
I wasn't there. Must have been messing around. Then the shoveler picked him up, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm in trouble. What's the matter? I broke a club
Through it.
So what, kids golfing in
From-
school or golfing on their
from
what-
night.
what's-
No, they're out. They're done.
Oh, is that right, eh?
It's why it was going to be travel week this week. Except
Yeah.
it's still not travel week. He's still in Buffalo.
You've got a big grad this week. Did I?
Well, that's part of the reason that the big rig hasn't hit the road. I was told in no uncertain
Terms.
terms that
Yeah.
you'll be attending the grade 8 grad.
Grade 8 grand. No, do they go to high school in grade 9 there? Is that why that's
Yeah.
a big deal? Okay, I get that.
Freshman, sophomore,
Junior.
junior, senior. 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we had the same. There was
What did you do in
some-
Saskatchewan?
We were the same in Sask, but in Calgary, I think it's.
Yeah, we got the junior high here. It's different. So you go 1 to 6, then 7, 8, 9, and then
I like
10 to
that
12.
better.
I'm just trying to imagine being in grade 8 and having grade 1ers running around, where it's like, junior high, that's like 7, 8, 9. Bang.
Yeah.
But that's what I grew up with. So obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
You only know what you know.
You only know what you know.
There's a lot we don't know.
It's true.
More every day, it feels like. Heard you guys chatting when I was
I know
driving
I'm
up.
not going in to see no damn Titanic. Man, that's shits.
Yeah, that didn't feel like the safest of touristy plans, did it?
Did you
In
see
hindsight?
somebody tweeted me or sent me a message with a interview that
Yeah,
was
they had a
done on CBS about this?
PlayStation joystick that runs the whole thing? A little
Ah.
janky. I would think your panic room in the basement there for the end days much more organized than that thing going to the bottom. Of the
Yeah.
Do we know enough to explain what it is we're talking about? Because I've seen it. I haven't.
Yeah, I didn't know
delved into
anything
it.
about it until it's everything on social media all of a sudden.
So there's a submarine. You can go on. They're going to
Not
take
really
you
a
down.
submarine.
But I mean, it's going
It's a
underwater.
they call it a submersible, Dean.
Submersible.
You shouldn't joke about it, but
You can buy
yeah.
a ticket, this submersible,
250 grand.
and you go
Just.
down to see the
ruins.
ruins of the Titanic.
Wreckage there, yeah. Which is apparently very, very deep. Like this is not messing around. Now, you can't open it from the inside. You go down, you apparently look through some holes and see what's up with the Titanic, come
Yeah.
back up. They haven't come back up and it's lost, which is not good.
It's not good.
But then the more you're looking at it, you're like, this operation isn't as airtight as I'd hope for something traveling, to the bottom of the ocean.
And have you seen what's going on with these sharks attacking
The orcas.
kayakers and orcas and
sharks,
stuff?
Orcas. Come on. Get it
But
right.
I saw when it was a great white just
Come
went
on.
and rammed into a.
Kayak.
It's like, jeez,
Don't like that.
what's going on in the water, boys? Stay out of the water.
I was going to say, another reason not to leave your house.
So I
This
read
isn't good for you.
chose Buffalo over Florida.
so far.
Scary. out
fresh
there.
water.
Scary out
fresh
there.
water.
Even the inland water is no good in
So that's it there.
Florida. Yeah.
Jeez. I honestly,
That looks jankier on the inside too, which I don't know if it's scarier or less scary.
would you rather? What would you be less freaked out about?
What would I be less freaked out about?
Allow me to explain. I'm going to give you examples, so just wait. Going down deep to the depths of the ocean, or up into space on some Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos mobile.
Can I go on the NASA one? I feel like they are very organized. And They have a long-standing track record of a lot of success and check
That's the one in sync that Lance.
I'm not sure
dude.
that's true, Ryan Pinder, but
Well,
I get what you're
a
saying.
longer track record's all I'm saying. I feel like, yeah, there's always.
Although Musk does all the work for NASA now, so I don't know
if you listen to him, yeah, I don't know. I would go up. I wouldn't go down.
You don't believe that there's a partnership there and that
I have no idea what the partnership is. I just know
knowledge
that his
that
last
they're
one,
doing
his
all
last
the
one
work
didn't
for
come
NASA.
down. It just exploded. The most recent explosion was Musk's. I'm
I like that he
that's
said it was a success.
all.
It was
I thought it was an interesting take. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like,
Retro. Are you going?
I'm
to
not doing either, Dean.
All
I'll
right.
be
Yeah, that's
damned if I'm
actually.
getting in that effing thing, and I'll
It's
be.
a trick question. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I'm not.
If
getting
I'm
it.
going up, just keep me going because it's a one-way ticket.
The thing about up. The thing about up is
You think you're going up when it's over?
you're dying in a blink if you're going up. There's no like, I'm just going to fall forever. Like you're dead. It explodes. You're in space. You're dead. Or the thing exploded and you're dead. This could be like,
Don't.
right?
Yes, we know.
Like, don't. By the way,
I hope it exploded. If
please. Yeah. If they're not coming
then
back,
it would be
please
quick,
collapse
too.
under the pressure of the ocean and die instantly. Don't do
Yes.
the other option we're not going to talk about. Go up, not down. Oh, no. Stop it.
Is that the
That's
thing?
the PlayStation
Yeah.
remote.
and that's the remote
Ugh.
PS4.
That's not a good idea. Don't do that.
Like at some
9
point,
hours they were supposed to be in that too. Like
9. 2
3
days ago.
down and 6 around. Well, I guess I don't know that technically. That's what I read, but
So where do you think your cutoff is for Daredevil shit?
I don't like this at all.
I
So if
did.
if
I
that
did.
if
I
going into
dove-
space or to the bottom of the ocean is kind of whoa, how far back do we have to scale it before it's like, you know what? Yeah, I do
Okay, so
that.
skydive. That's probably
No
a good-
chance.
Bungee.
Okay, so I've reached my pinnacle for bullshit.
Mhm.
I bungeed off a bridge in South Africa,
Yep.
and I dove with great whites. I mean, it was in a whatever the
Cage.
cage. No, I was going to say tank, not tank.
And that was in
Cage
South Africa too?
in South Africa.
Ooh.
Hans by.
Okay, what was the first one?
Bungee.
I bungeed off a bridge in Africa as well.
Okay.
Bungee's
you-
the around your ankle, down you go.
Hated it. Hated every effing second of it. The shoveler had it in her stupid head that we had to do this, and you literally, I'm standing there. They made me go first because they
Oh,
knew I
God.
didn't want to, and they're like, whoever's the more hesitant, they're like,
You go first.
And the
Less time to
bastards,
think about it.
they try to confuse you and talk to you the whole time. Oh yeah, where are you going? Jump! Woo!
Not good.
No.
And so when you're falling down, approaching terminal velocity, what percentage of your brain is thinking you're going to die? Like 99, 50? Where are you at?
All I was thinking is I want it over, and then I thought about halfway down. I'm like, well, you might as well open your eyes and watch it end.
Yeah. So you were you're in the 90s for sure. And then you probably like, well, you start coming back up. You're like, I've done it. But then you bounce around for like another minute.
Yeah.
Screw off.
So did
There's an
you?
adrenaline rush?
Okay, so now before I ask you the final question, now tell me about the shark tank.
I was pumped about that. They've got a huge, I don't know, population of great whites off that coast, and it's famous for great whites and how many you see. Went out in this rink-a-dink boat, and they threw a cage over, and then the guide or the captain started saying, okay, well, we're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. And they had a bait out there, and the guy didn't even get through the spiel, and he's like, shark! And I was like George Costanza when the fire started. I'm pushing. I'm first.
Kids and
Out
children.
of the way. I'm going first.
Yeah.
I was pumped to do that.
I would feel like that's quite a bit like it would be scary, but I like the idea of reinforced steel and being still versus just free falling towards the earth at terminal velocity.
So I think we have the answer, but I was going to ask you, when you're done both of them, I guess specifically now because we know you enjoyed the Sharks and you were excited for it, the bungee jump, do you have any sort of feeling of accomplishment or exhilaration afterwards that you're glad you did that? That was awesome.
Yeah, at the time you're like, let's do it again. You know,
really?
Such an adrenaline rush, but.
I was going to say, you'd be like jittering like you had 15 coffees.
I know, right? Jesus.
Shoveler be all frisky, rubbing you down. Jeez.
It's a mental mind F, that's for sure. Because you're standing on the ledge and you're like, your brain is like, don't do that.
No.
It was a bad idea, stupid.
No.
So, what about, say, like in Vegas, there's at the Stratosphere, they have the carnival ride that spins out over, like away from the building.
Yeah.
I don't even like rides of any sort, so I'm not.
I don't like. That's why I stay home. I don't like any of that shit. Even those, was it the Grand Canyon where they have the walk? You walk out.
It's one of those on the way up to Jasper.
I know the Skywalk or Airwalk, whatever
they have the glass floors in like CN Tower in Toronto that you can look down.
In Chicago.
I think in the Calgary Tower here they do the same thing.
I don't think I need any of that.
No. But again, I mean, if like, let's take you back to 24-year-old boom, no kids, trying to impress a girl. How far do you go down the spectrum?
The kids do, because even on planes, when you start bouncing around, you're like, back in the days, guess they'll be done.
Had a good run.
Yeah.
Now you're like, my damn kids.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kids. God.
Who's going to explain BABIP to my son?
Yeah. And then you're like, you know what?
Deep down, they'll be better off.
Yeah, they'll probably rebound just nicely. I know the wife will for sure.
Upgrade.
She'll be shocked about this news, but the kids, even they might be just fine with it, frankly. What about you? What's the extent of your daredevilness?
I don't know that I've done anything too crazy. I went caving, which at the time I thought was pretty normal. And then you heard that story out of the Philippines and you're like, that's an absolute nightmare. Like how that's not a major motion picture already. It's got to be in production. Like when that soccer team in the Philippines goes caving and then there's all kinds of raining and they get flooded and trapped and behind an underground river in a cave for like 2-3 days, whatever it was. Oh my God. I just keep thinking about what would have gone wrong if I was still stuck in a cave in Austria a day later.
It was in Austria.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it in, I guess it was like Canmore Banff area. And they had this one section. So caving, it's you walk in the mountain.
Okay.
And it's just, it's been hollowed out by water and that over the years. And you're putting trust in the people that are with you.
A lot. Your life.
This Sherpa or whatever the frig he is. Okay, so you're getting this out. There was this one part of it. They called it the laundry chute.
Oh.
And you basically just kind of, so you sit down, you put your feet into the hole, and then you kind of start to shimmy yourself. And then you're just basically standing straight up, but your feet aren't on anything, and you're just kind of in, and you have to just kind of
wiggle down,
do this sort of thing, and you slowly wiggle your way down, and then you feel your feet touch the bottom, and then you got to kind of kick your feet out, and then you're down to your bum, and you kind of keep going.
A lot of trust there, Dean.
I don't need to do that again.
No, because I know in Canmore there's they actually have a place that's at a cave where they do concerts and stuff, which would be epic. But that in out, I don't know. Don't know about that. How far was the scooching underground there? Like time?
Well, it was
a couple hours.
You're trying to. We were inside. It was over an hour.
Yeah.
But that, and you didn't have to do that part. I think there was a long way around you could do. But it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it.
Laundry chute,
It's like, oh. Then it's like, I got a bit of girth here. You sure?
Just a bunch of daredevils.
You sure about this? I did have a big lunch. Not sure if this is the best idea, but I survived the laundry chute. I don't know that I don't need to skydive. Well, how about skydiving? But you got the dude on the back.
I think I'd do that. I mean, if you've got an instructor or a pro, it's going to be hard to mess up. I'd hope. I feel like your probability of success is much higher.
Retro, can I sell you on 2-man skydive? No,
not anymore.
The answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like a cliff jump from like 5 to 10 meters right now, that's all I got left in me. That's it. Into some water. A lot of people around.
I'm a 5-meter board at the pool. That's pushing.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
that's
summer, I'm going to take you guys to Strathmore. We're going to go running with the bulls.
Ugh. I had buddies do that in Pamplona two summers
the
ago
actual-
in Spain.
I
The
ran
real one. They're all wearing the
yesterday.
outfit.
Every stride hurt. I actually said to the person I live with, I'm like, I can't even run. It's painful. No, I'm out. No.
Yeah, I am not very elusive anymore. There's maybe a time you
You
think,
want some agility?
I'm kind of shifty. I get side to side, all right?
But the word is in Spain, the move is it's a winding road, right? It's cobblestone.
Yeah.
And so they've got these hoofs on the cobblestone. It's not good. So you have to stay on the inside of the turns because they slide around every corner and wipe out into the walls.
Yeah, they missed
So
the
if you're on the
apex.
outsides of the turns,
Yeah.
you're just getting destroyed by like a 2-ton animal.
Yeah, except for that one idiot.
Then you
that-
get that one Max
avoided one
Verstappen
turnaround.
of bulls.
Remember that one video where the guy avoided the one, spun around, who thought he got away, and plowy right in the chest?
You
Oh.
don't want to get gored. Getting gored would be a horrible experience. I
That'll
like
be
the
another one.
word.
Let's just make it quick.
Yeah,
Make it
gourd. Like they've got a word for it.
Yes, gored. Not good. Not like gored from the hip. Gored from like a horn through you.
Yeah. What is the other gourd? Like it's like a
It's
don't you fill it with potpourri at Christmas or something?
Yanni gourd?
Yanni gourd.
Yanni gourd.
Well, now going back to your shark thing, did you see the video from a couple weeks ago? I think I had.
of the guy, the Russian dude?
Yes,
Ooh.
I think I missed this. There's a shark and a
we
Russian guy?
talked about it. Lunch.
It's not good.
The
Pinder.
shark
Oh,
friggin'
yeah,
ate the
yeah,
guy
yeah.
right offshore.
Gonzo.
Australia, mate. A lot of that.
Speaking of Australia, why don't we do that now, Jack?
Australia?
Go
Right
to
near the
Australia.
end there,
Love
right before the Betway, I had that video.
This is Rhett from
We've
Traveling
played this.
Days,
No,
or-
we've talked about these before, and I've not. I would love to get to Australia one day. Red, have you been? You've been And
Twice. I
obviously-
love it.
yeah, and obviously you've been, Pinder.
a couple times with Mama Bear from there.
And I think it would. You see kangaroos.
Mhm.
Are they everywhere? Like, is it just kind
Hate
of?
kangaroos.
It's like seeing deer.
Depends where you are, but yes, like if you were living in Jasper or Banff or Canmore, you'd see deer all the time. And so certain parts of Australia, there's just kangaroos running around
Yeah.
like you'd see deer.
And to this point in your life, I feel like when you're a kid and that's you see them in cartoons or whatever, it's look the little roo in the pocket and the pouch in the front,
Joey.
little
How do they
little
balance?
Joey. Oh, it's so cute. We're learning that kangaroos are assholes, right?
Big time assholes. Yeah.
Look at this. This video came up. Some people just trying to enjoy themselves. They go to a koala park because koalas are cute.
Yeah, they are.
And now I don't know if these a-holes are just allowed to run around, but look at
She got Doritos in her pockets. What's going on?
look at the balls on this guy. He wants to fight. And
Oh,
dude's
yeah,
like,
they
all right,
love
that,
to.
It's
that's
likes the
enough.
fight guy.
It's likes to fight kangaroo.
That's an
guy.
Aussie for sure. That dude. He's not messing around.
And what? Now I'm gonna kick you.
The feet are what? Look out! You see the size of those legs? They're not messing around. You get on those hind legs. Look out!
It's like Marty Jelena there.
Jeez.
Huge trunk.
So like,
got
oh,
the
he's got the
reach on it.
chokehold on there. Yeah,
And I give this guy credit
standing up for his wife.
because you would think I don't know if we played it, but you've seen the one where I think the kangaroo has the dog,
Oh man.
Yeah.
and the guy runs up and just gives him a right cross right in the jib, and he
That's- yeah.
finally drops the dog.
I hate those things. They freak me out.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
weird.
need. I don't need any part of it. And look at him. Hey, you want some of me? You want some of me? What would he sound like? How would he be?
Oh, mate, you want a piece of this? Step right up. Let's go, bitch.
Where's Aussie Brad? Aussie Brad wouldn't look at him.
I know. I don't like this.
He wouldn't be dealing with any of this.
No, he'd be. He's gonna be telling you got to get on the aggressive boom. Keep punching.
Look at.
I think I would now. I would drill that thing.
I-
okay?
well,
Yeah,
I-
it's time. It's time.
It's definitely time.
I might give him a body shot.
Before he lands one of those hooves, those legs are huge.
Now, if you kick him in the balls, are there balls?
I don't know
Is
if
he
that's
gonna
male or
feel it?
female. I think they're going to feel something there. Yeah.
He just won't let him. That's
This
it.
guy's not
Come on.
intimidated. This is impressive behavior. I'd be climbing a tree right now.
Ooh, and what's that thing in the background?
Email.
Stalking.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna come. and
Slap
get you.
fest. We need that thing to go in slap fest. or
That's
whatever.
right.
So what we need, boom, if we're going to introduce you to kangaroos, you got to start with the wallabies because it's basically this, but they're like miniature. It's like if all you saw were dogs that fit in purses, you couldn't really be afraid of dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the wallaby is your nice entry point to kangaroos here. And they're always on Nan's lawn.
Yeah.
If you get up early in the morning and you can't sleep, they're out chewing under grass.
What about your Muay Thai experience, Red? Is
I
there a
would kick that thing's ass?
deep?
Oh, that lady was handing out some no you don'ts.
Yeah,
Not
you don't-
around here,
that's
mister.
right.
Listen, you little punk.
Control your GD kangaroo, lady. Koalas are great, though.
They got a kangaroo thing by
They
Vernon,
eat them
BC.
over there too, you know.
Yeah,
They
kangaroo
what?
steaks. Yeah. Wow, they're just trying to get rid of these assholes. Just all eat the meat.
Do something with it.
Seriously. Can we marinate it? Is this edible? Yeah. Kill these assholes.
I feel like it'd be very gamey.
I did. I think I had it. It was just
Really?
it was a meat. It wasn't special, but it's like if you get enough onions and
Is it a little more tender in
breadcrumbs and all
the
kinds
midriff? Because I got to think that you don't want to be eating
God,
those
those are
legs. It'd be very,
disgusting animals.
very
I hate them.
chewy.
yeah, not the best.
Now the hand things, are they sharp? Have they got claws?
Don't know if claws is the right terminology. I don't know.
That one from years ago looks scary. That
Yes.
It looked like a dude dressed up as a kangaroo.
He had a six pack.
yes.
He was friggin' ripped.
It was like one of those half
Apples.
humans, half animals from the Greek mythology. It was
Yeah.
spooky.
He was taking on John Jones in the Octagon. This guy's fucking scary looking. So I don't need kangaroos in my life either now.
There is a place in Vernon. You can literally walk up and it's a huge fenced area, like an acreage kind of thing. And there's like 50 of them. You can go walk amongst them.
Really?
That's a very atypical response to
you're
you.
gonna struggle in Australia, Dean.
Yeah, you
You're
are.
gonna struggle. There's a lot of things. They're very dangerous continent.
Yeah. On the
Very
scary
dangerous.
spectrum, kangaroos at the green light end, not the red light end. The red light end is like the spiders the size of your face.
Snakes,
A lot of snakes.
dingoes,
Dingoes eating
Shark.
babies. Sharks.
jellyfish,
Jellyfish, yeah, blue bottles.
crocodiles.
Is it crocs out there, mate? Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, saltwater.
Alligators in Florida, crocs.
Is that right?
Australia.
Mm.
A lot of killing.
Shit.
Yeah, wildfires.
I guess
going
I'll
on.
just stay
Guess
home.
you'll stay home.
Guess I'll just stay home.
The other thing is it's not like the kangaroos are walking down Main Street either. So if you just stick to the city centers, I like your chances.
Well, like Aussie Brad, what Melbourne? If we
He's
go,
on the outskirts though, yeah. I mean, he's got a bit of land there you can see when he's pointing over. at
but he's
Trigger.
got the dog too. Like Trigger's
Yeah.
going to let us know if some asshole kangaroo starts tromping around.
Trigger's going to put a chomp into some snakes if they're around the house.
Oh, I don't like snakes.
I hate snakes.
If you don't like snakes, Oz isn't for you.
That video where they're coming through the ceiling.
Oh, they're
fan?
huge.
God almighty. Well, I understood you had a great Father's Day retro. You said you got into the IPAs
Mhm.
and you said how they make you sleepy. You have 2 or 3 and they make you sleepy, which is not great. It's your day. You want to be with the kids. I don't want to say which one, but somebody in the house that you live with sent us another video. They're very good at reaching out. This is some Father's Day video, and I don't know. I think it's post meal. This is for Outdoor Dental. Post meal. Let's take a look here because I think you've got a toothpick going, and there's something.
Is this an Oz?
I think that's the gift. That's your your wheel bag. You got there. You got some getting some pork or something out of your teeth.
There's the shoveler.
There's a shoveler. What do you got on the front of the barrel there?
Warts.
That's those liver spots. Is that from all the booze you hammer?
It's warts.
Were you doing some drywall? Looks like some drywall mud, maybe.
That is full capacity.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room left in there. No vacancy.
It almost doesn't look real.
Oh, he's awake.
Jack likes it.
Jack doesn't. do
Yeah.
that.
Outdoor.dental is the website. You can have fun with your family without falling asleep, because when you have sleep apnea and you have snoring issues, then you're not getting quality sleep, then you're tired all the time, and then stuff like that can
That's
happen.
not good.
Dr. J. Patel, maybe he can do something about that barrel, but let's start with the sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Let's start with your snoring and we'll go from there. Snoring treatments, 2 15-minute treatments, increase the tension in the soft palate, reduces snoring. It's non-surgical. It's pain-free. They use the Solea laser that they have in the dental office. They use that for their regular dentistry. No needles, no drills, no stress. This is the way in this new day and age that you do dental work. And Why not get your snoring treated while you're there?
Easy peasy.
Outdoor.dental, Dr. J. Patel. Great guy. Book yourself in for a consultation. Go see what it's all about. Maybe it's not for you, but I'm betting if you snore and you just know it,
Clap your
this
hands.
is going to be your thing. This is going to be, yeah.
If you snore and you know it, clap your hands.
Social media is something, eh?
Hey, well, that's how we learned about the submersible or the submarine,
Well, yeah,
depending who you
but
talk
moving
to.
on from that.
Oh.
Rhett and I kind of talked about Noah Hannafin yesterday.
We had it on driving
Flames
up.
and Noah Hannafin. Are you all concerned? This sort of thing. And as we had said, like Chris Johnston, he's it sounds like maybe Lindholm, but the Noah Hannafin is that probably looking at a Hannafin trade. Is Hannafin is looking to move elsewhere, not going to sign long term. So then, of course, we panic on social media. So it's okay. So Noah Hannafin, guess he doesn't like Calgary. And okay, so then Gaudreau didn't like Calgary and Kachuk. So that's three guys now that don't like Calgary. And you know what's in common? You know what? They're all Americans. Americans don't like Calgary. So you know what we need to do? Don't draft Americans. Don't ever draft Americans again because they don't want to come here. Yeah. They come here and they don't want to be here. We want guys that want to be here. So we can't draft. I mean, you know what? You better trade Coronado, whatever you got in the system right now. That's American. You better get him out while you can still get something for him. Otherwise, they're going to put you over the barrel and you're going to be left holding the bag. And you know what? You just better bring back former Flames, guys that did like it here. Find out who played here and liked it here, and you bring them back because then you know that you're in good shape and you'll be just fine.
It's June, hey?
Or maybe Noah Hannafin just maybe wants to change.
Maybe Noah Hannafin has hey, I like Calgary, but I know the cap's jumping a ton. I ain't signing shit this summer. Yeah, I'm trying to make more money. So if you're asking me to sign this summer, the answer is no, because that's my right to wait till free agency. I've been working my ass off for 7 years to get to UFA. Why am I just going to give that up?
Yeah, I could make $5-10 million more on a long-term deal in a year from now if I just wait.
Yeah, and we only hear bits and pieces here. They may have exchanged numbers and he was okay to resign, but he wants a number. The Flames are like, that's not a number we can do. So okay, I'm not resigning.
It is June.
The players have all the rights here. They can do what they want. You're a year from UFA. It is your full right, and no one should shame these guys if they want to just see out the end of their contract.
So if for Flames fans, if they keep him, go into next year.
So don't trade him, you're saying?
Don't trade him now. Keep him, go into next year. Hey, we're going to try and see if last year was an anomaly. So many things went wrong. It can't happen again. Let's try and get back in. And then you lose him for nothing next year.
Oh, I don't like that.
Flames fans you're not going to be happy.
Well, it just kind of contradicts what Connie said, right?
But just you don't want to lose another guy for nothing.
Yeah.
But if you trade him now, what needs to be in the trade for you to be happy? Because I saw all kinds of things. Well, who's going to take? Well, you'll get a top 6, you get a top 4 defenseman in the trade.
You get a top 15 pick, you'll get this, you get that.
But then, don't go too young because you don't want guys too young, and you don't want guys too old because
I want young.
You don't want too many Americans. You don't want this. You
can't
don't want
have Americans.
I think that the challenge that Craig Conroy is in is that, like listening to you guys yesterday, I think Rhett makes really good points. If you had full control of the ship, this is a really good time to say, are we loading up to try to win something now, or are we going to get young? The challenge is if the marching orders are what they've been for the last ever with this majority owner, that's not his marching orders. His marching orders are going to be competitive, but also he'll know he has to get younger. And so he's trying to walk this tight wire of getting younger, but also remaining competitive. And to Rhett's point yesterday, tough to lose a top 4 defenseman and feel like you're not losing a bit on the competitive side. But you also are freeing up some cap space. You also have other assets that you could move. I don't think if you're moving Noah Hannafin, you aren't finding another D-man somewhere. You can get younger and, also remain competitive, but that's hard. That's what Craig's got in front of him. How do you do that?
It's tough because on one hand, the argument is you'll get a lot for Noah Hannafin because look at the market. Look what's available for a defense.
Yep.
But then here you're kind of saying, well, if you get rid of Hannafin, you'll find a defenseman. You'll get a guy that comes in.
Well, you won't get a Noah Hannafin. I don't want to suggest that. Yeah. And so what I think you want is someone that could play number 4. Because I feel like between Shillington and Tanev you can't be 100% that Tanev's going to be healthy or that Shillington's going to come back to normal. Now, I think it's probably reasonable to suggest that for large portions of the season, that'll be a fine second pair. But you just have to expect that Tanev's going to miss some time and that there'll be some hiccups along the way for Shillington at some point, whether that's early because he's been off or just because there's a lot of uncertainty around. We don't really even know what happened. He just needed time. So do you have someone that you could bring in that is a good third pair defenseman, but in a pinch could play second pair for a month or two? That's the type of player that's going to help them bridge to someone that either they draft this summer in the teens or a young player that comes back in a package, or just buying time for guys that you're trying to develop at the American League level.
Who's done a good job? What team has done a good job of bridging?
Boston. They had Chara old, Bergeron.
I don't know if they've been bridging. They've been a top team for a decade. I don't know.
But they've also, they're doing what the Flames are trying to do, which is they know they have guys longer in the tooth, but they've also done a good job of finding ways to get young players in. Now, the last couple of years, they've been selling some firsts to bring in some guys, but I just look at the way that they've gone about their business, and I'm like, we thought they should have plateaued by now age-wise, but they still have a pretty decent stable of guys that aren't really old, and they've done a good job of bringing goalies in. Mm-hmm. They've done some things at free agency, like maybe Taylor Hall doesn't work, but Linus Ullmark looks like a great free agency signing, and it hasn't been like full get young, but they've found a way to lose a Chara and not be worse. And I feel like when Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci are gone, there's going to be a step back, but by then they'll probably have found another young forward to come in there. And I look at a lot of the moves they make, and I'm like, that's impressive, because it's not like they've drafted tremendously well, but yet there they are, still competitive.
I kind of agree. And I'm just kind of, because I'm trying to struggle. I just think over the years of guys who have come in here and given you quality minutes in terms of defense. And you had Forbort, but he was kind of a deadline guy, right? You got Schlemko years ago off of waivers. Stetcher came in and played pretty well.
Deadline.
Obviously, we saw what happened with in Columbus now, 4x4.
Goodbranson.
I wonder if that's the easier move.
Go find a 5 that can play 4 for a couple months if you need it.
And I'm with you. I like Stetcher. I guess, Red, I'll ask you, I don't know if we talked about this necessarily. How big of a risk is it for Conroy? Let's say you're going to move away from Hannafin and maybe you don't get a top 4 minute muncher, quality proven NHL guy back. Mm-hmm. You are putting faith that Oliver Shillington is going to come back. What's the level of concern for you that he can get back to where he was? What was
the problem?
When you go back, what truly was he?
Yes.
What is he away from Chris Tanev a year and a half ago?
He had 1 year. One.
Yeah. It was
played
a massive
one
breakout.
good year. The rest of it, you were like, you're squinting. Like, so to say, what's he kind of come back as? I don't know. He could have been a one and done kind of season if he'd have stayed. I don't know. It's not like he's put together 3 or 4 years of quality hockey like Erasmus Anderson, right?
No.
Like, he's still young. He skates like the wind. I like how he played the last time we saw him. But
it's not a sure
before
thing.
that, there were a lot of issues with him.
I think you're betting on the tools and hoping that the environment's a more nurturing one for him. No, I guess not even for him because he wasn't in it last year, but we don't know if those things are related or not. But the last you saw him, he was a guy in his mid-20s where everything clicked with the right partner. That partner's still here. His tools aren't gone. He's still going to be a great skater, right? He's not going to forget that. I sort of thought as the season went on, his game sort of fell off a bit 2 years ago. He had a couple ugly hits into the end wall. But look, you're asking him to be a 4. And could you find a 4B if he doesn't pan out? And because I don't worry about him if he has to play your third pair. And to be fair, there's a lot of teams where it's like, yeah, we only have 3 top 4 defensemen, and now we're at the deadline. Let's go find the 4th.
So what are we looking at pairs wise? Just off the top.
I think it has to be Anderson, Uyghur is your top pair. Those are your top 2 defensemen if Hannafin's gone. Tanev is your right side second pair. Shillington had his only great year in the NHL next to him on his left. You put those 2 together. And then you've got Zadorov plus whatever you have back, whether that's Michael Stone or Troy Stetcher or if you think Gilbert's got another step in there, or someone else in the system can step up, or to be fair, a guy you signed for $1 million on a 1-year deal that can be a 6-7. I don't worry about the third pair. It's what Rhett's worried about. Who can play that second pair if one of Tanev or Shillington isn't there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had
There's
to
concern
cough.
with both of those
stop.
guys.
Let's just stop for a second. What are we doing? We're slapping a team together again.
Kind of. I mean,
not kind of. We are. We're going, oh, hopefully we can get this. I don't think Tanev is going to make it through the year. This is my opinion. I think he's been beat to piss. And I think, sadly, once a guy of his style play gets to a certain style of age and suffers the type of injuries that he's had to overcome over the last 18 months, the road to recovery is very minimal chance that that's my opinion. I'm very good at medicine, but I'm not a professional. So there's a huge concern there. Shillington, you don't know what he is to begin with. And now what we're doing is what you can do and what teams do. Okay. Are we any good? I don't know, but we can't be bad. So let's
I think it's just
let's spend a little here and fill this hole and try and tweak this. And
we're both with you, Rhett.
It's not a plan, though. It's not a plan.
But it's what the owner's telling him to do.
No, we don't know
fine,
that.
Then
if history's taught us
I'm just saying, if you trade Hanifin, what do you need back? Do you need a guy, or are you happy with that pairing? Because Rhett, I'm with you on Tanev, and I have nothing to back it up other than just watching guys who have played, and I feel like Shillington is kind of tied to him. That Shillington's success is related to whether or not he's healthy, and if he's not, is Shillington? Is he fine? Is he now? What is he? Is he a 5-6, or is he another year closer to being a top pair guy?
Because of what you're trying to do with a 5-6. But I can be wrong.
Yeah, I know.
But my whole general thing is, I don't disagree what you're saying, Pinder. And if those are the marching orders, those are the marching orders.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what we talked about. Please don't do this. Please.
Have a plan. Have a long-term, have a 5-year plan, right?
Yes, let's have a better plan. If you're trading Hanifin, fine. Restock the shelves.
Yeah. Well, and look, there's been a lot of suggestions out there. You move Hanifin, you get a pick higher than theirs in round 1. You get 2 picks in the top 16, I should say, in this draft class. That could be the stocking of the shelves you're talking about, Rhett. And if you get lucky or, moderate luck, and that second pair is okay, you might have done what we just talked about, which is walking that tight wire. But there's a lot of ifs there. I think we're all in agreement here. This would be a really ideal opportunity to get young and say, don't obsess about the playoffs this year. You've got a great opportunity to sell high on a lot of guys. So
let me ask you this. I think I asked him yesterday. If in fact, and you're handed this, if Hanifin doesn't want to sign something, you're going to trade him. And you make a Hanifin trade, and it's mostly picks, prospects. So you're getting youth back.
Yeah.
Are you now kind of pot committed to a rebuild, I know they can't say that word, with how you handle Backlund to all of that? Are you now all in almost on a quick rebuild?
Not necessarily. I think you have till the deadline to see what you look like. If this is a really good team and you're like, shit, that worked out well. I don't think that you are necessarily. And on the flip side, if it's just like, shit, we're in 9th in the West again, well, definitely don't take Toffoli to free agency. Sell him at the deadline. Yeah. Definitely move Chris Tanev. Don't take him. Backlund, you're selling a Selke candidate type guy. Like, sell him at the deadline. You have flexibility with those guys, but the 2 guys you can't fuck up are Hanifin and Lindholm, because they're guys in their theoretical primes that are going to get max term. These are the most valuable assets you have. It's not a 35-year-old centerman. It's not a 32-year-old injury-riddled defenseman. It's not a roller coaster of a defenseman coming off 14 goals that is on his 5th team. The 2 surest things you have in the organization that you have to make decisions on are Hanifin and Lindholm. You can't screw those up. I'd love resolution on both of those before the season starts. The other ones, I can live with a little bit of flexibility in season. Is that fair?
And it is fair. And if Conroy's been handed an open, I don't know what terminology I'm trying to use, but Craig, this is your team. Run with it.
Yeah.
Then the trading of Hanifin doesn't become a huge issue. You can go do whatever happens with Lindholm happens. you can go into the season with the squad the way it is, and obviously you're going to have to fill holes and put people in place to fill out the roster. But he might be in great shape
100%.
because he will be allowed to, let's monitor this team. How are we doing? New head coach, bunch of changes, new players.
Cap space.
Yeah, we're not quite there. Because you have great assets to ship, to restock. Right? Like it's the marching orders that become the concern.
Yeah.
If it is a win and get back into playoffs, that's a tough.
That's tough.
It's a good point. I know you're going to jump in. You're not just having players coming off the cap, but you have players that are essentially coming off the cap, but you can get something legit for them.
Yes.
It's because a lot of times it's just, well, at least we got that money back. We didn't get anything for them. It's not to like Milan Lucic. Like his cap hit is gone, but it's not as though you got something. Here it's, well, there's 5 million and there's 5 million and
picks, kids.
We get picks and whatever else coming in plus that 10. It's got to be mouthwatering.
Just to sort of, I guess, put that into more concrete terms, Tyler Toffoli might not be worth more in his career than he is right now. 35 goals, well below market value, 1 year and it's gone, so that you could eat money and any contender can squeeze him in. 35 goal season last year. Like, we're talking career numbers here, high value. Lindholm and Hanifin, I would say, are having good to great years, not career years, but they're very well established of who they are, what they are in this league, and they're the types of players every team wants. Minute munching top 4, a top 20 center in the NHL is where Frank put him when we had him on 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to rank the centers. Frank did it for us. I don't think that's a crazy assertion. Chris Tanev, if he's healthy, is a perfect defender to add at the deadline for a contender because he's a defensive wet blanket. He's great at that. Like, stabilizing his partner is what he's been doing forever.
And
Quinn
he's not
Hughes,
expensive either.
Shillington. No, and he's a low note. And if you can eat on these deals that expire in a year because if you're selling this year, there's a lot you could get for all those guys. And we haven't even talked about Zadorov coming off a 14-goal year, or Vladar, who you're probably going to try to ship because you've got another goalie on the way. You could be sitting on a lot of picks and young players if you were allowed to simply rebuild or sell all these expiring assets. Backlund to a contender at the deadline. It's the exact type of guy you try to add.
And the other thing is, too, when you're talking about young players, unless they're really young, it doesn't mean you're accepting being bad.
No.
Sometimes you can go young and you'd be surprised.
Look at Nashville this
at
year.
What you might be able to accomplish with some new, younger players, some new energy. There was a lot of new guys last year, but not that kind of
not young new guys. Yeah.
So I don't know. It just feels like if you're getting young guys back in a potential Hanifin deal, well, now you're committing to sucking next year.
You get to watch it for 5 months. That's the thing. October, November, December, January, February trade deadline. And I think that's going to help, Craig. If you can get clarity on the 2 big chips, then you can at least let the rest play out in front of you and be like, Jesus, Markstrom looks great. Shillington looks or the opposite. Like, man, like Tanev, Shillington, like we have 2 top 4 defensemen. Like we have to sell. At least you have a better idea of what this team looks like. Because again, the other thing that's changed is the environment these players in is different. It's a new coach. You did that for a reason. You hired one guy out of anyone available on earth. You got to let him try to put his fingerprints on this thing. If I was going to pitch a rebuild to the owner, I think it's pretty easy. The pitch, whether he says yes or no. Sir, you own a franchise that's certainly worth more than $1 billion. That's what the Senators are worth. When you look at new buildings for teams and their franchise values, you see massive, massive jumps in what they're worth. Murray, you're a bottom line guy. You like, making money, making good business deals. Why don't we aim to be excellent when that building opens in around 4 to 5 years? Because if you open a new building where everything's more expensive and the $10 beers are $15 and the $100 seats are now $200 and your team's a doormat and old, this ain't going to be the windfall you think it is. But if you have found a way to build a young team over 3 or 4 or 5 years into the opening of that, you might have yourselves a serious cash bonanza here because the team is young and competitive in time for higher prices for everything you sell. Your new profit center has a good team in it. That's the pitch I'd make.
And 2 things from that. I think the other thing you could throw in there is we be honest, we haven't been close. to even getting to a cup final here, let alone winning one. It's a couple of trips to the second round.
Yeah, that's high
You
water.
haven't made it halfway
Mhm.
to a Stanley Cup championship. And I think maybe we've talked about this. I think if there's a situation or a time or a scenario where Murray might be willing to accept something like that, is when it's Craig Conroy and Jerome McGinley trying to sell him this plan. Do you agree, Rhett, or do you think it's...
I do agree. And one thing we haven't mentioned is the competition in the conference. Last 2 Stanley Cup champions out west.
Yeah, and
Colorado going to be better.
if
Vegas
you had
still going to be good. Edmonton,
2 more years of those clowns, yeah,
right? So
like at least maybe more.
you can't always time that out because other teams get better and other teams get worse. But it to me, it's not an ideal time to try and you know who knows the best about it? The 80 mid to Stanley Cup champion Calgary Flames team knows the best about going up against the best. That's a team that, right? They had to play the Oilers all the time.
Smythe final every year,
right?
Yeah.
And to be the best, you got to beat the best, but there's something to be said about massaging it.
Yeah, and then I think there's also just, I agree with everything you're saying, Rhett. It's also just a zany tournament. Like Vegas missed this thing last year. They missed the playoffs. If we had to draw the arrow where that organization was pointing, it was flat or down. Leonard's hurt. They're down to no goalies for this year.
But they didn't fluke this thing, right?
I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying it's really crazy
they
how
had
year over year the results
but it wasn't year over year. I mean, they made it to a cup final. They lost it. I mean, that was the one anomaly. They were building towards this really from the start.
Yes. No, you could argue they missed it, though, because you looked at the age of these guys. And, well, Petrangelo probably played his best. Stone's probably played his best, and he's hurt all the time.
I don't think
Leonard's – no? Okay. I would have thought, those guys,
they're not 36.
No, I'm not saying they're bad, and I don't want this to be an Anze Kopitar thing. But if you had to pick the age where Mark Stone is at his prime, it's probably not the year where he misses 2 months with a disc in his back. You know what I mean?
Jack Eichel,
who had some question marks too. I think they're a really good team. They missed last year. It's a weird tournament.
I look more into the years where Montreal went on their freak run. Or whatever, right?
I'm not saying they're fluky. I'm just saying when everything goes wrong, even for good, well-built teams, they can miss. Like Tampa went to the Eastern Conference Final 3 out of 4 years, and they missed the 1 year in the middle. That's a well-built team that we all thought was going to win and ended up winning. It just when everything goes sideways. I mean, if you lose Connor McDavid and don't get net money next year, Edmonton could fucking miss. It's that weird of a league. And it's not the justification to say we're all contenders if the chips fall the right way, but it's just a reminder that what we just watched might have been the worst case scenario for the Calgary Flames. They didn't get goaltending. The coach in the room didn't mesh. The new guys didn't find their feet or took too long to find their feet. That was pretty much the worst case scenario, wasn't it?
I'll do one thing. I'm just writing this down because I will forget it. But I want to tell you about something here before we go further. There have been some fellas that are kind of in my orbit, thinking about this whole, getting settled down, marriage, kids, this sort of thing. So, oh boy. And we kind of poke fun about it. Oh, don't get married. But listen, if you're in that, I think I've talked to some guys, there's some real sticker shock over what it costs you to go out and get a ring these days. I'm not in that market. I'm taken, ladies. Sorry. But
try as they might.
Yeah, so I've not been in the engagement ring market for quite some time. But yeah, this is concerning. And I tell it that 2 guys. I was like, listen, Vina Nova, lab-grown diamonds. You may not know anything about it. I didn't. Now we do, and it's the way to go. And I think that it's just growing and growing. Calgary has 1 lab-grown diamond specialist, and it is Vina Nova. Justin is awesome. He has the only store in Calgary that specializes exclusively in lab-grown diamonds. 80% saving off of what you're going to pay, 75, 80% some cases. And now it may not always be. It's not right across the board, but there's some real money to be saved. And we said, maybe you got a budget, you get more for that budget, or it allows you to save some real money and get that ring that you're looking for. It's grown in a lab. It's like science. chemicals and weird composition and stuff. It's just,
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
it's eye of newt and tongue of bat, putting a Bunsen burner and a little beaker, and
They know what they're doing.
you
Don't
do one
listen
of
to me.
these. You hold it up, you look at it, and you give it one of these. Then you put it back on there. That's what Justin does in the back.
I don't think
He's
that's what he does.
he's got a big smock that he wears.
So,
Vinanova.com is the website. Their downtown location, second level Stephen Avenue Place. This is the way to do it, folks. Telling you, take care of your loved ones. Do the thing, but take care of yourself as well. It's Vinanova.
it's a win-win, Dean.
It is a win-win. Before we go further, I just wanted for the Flames, the players have the leverage or have the hammer in this. If Hanifin doesn't want to sign, he can tell you, I'm not going to sign, so you're probably going to want to trade him. If you are Craig Conroy and specifically Ryan Huska, you've been around this team for years now. If you have it in your head, we've talked about the room. What's wrong with the room? Something's not right with the room. How do you fix it? I don't know. Is there a scenario where you can maybe slide one of these into a deal where you can maybe try to address some of these other things where it's, yeah, Hanifin goes, but you know what also has to go is this goes as well in that deal. And, maybe eat money, maybe you don't. Maybe we take some of your bad money for one more year, whatever the case is. I wonder in trades of this magnitude, because you would think if you're moving Hanifin, it's to a team that feels like they're close to winning. Can you sweeten that pot a little bit? That if your roster isn't as strong, maybe you're addressing some other things.
So you're suggesting that the Flames would eat some bad money from a team, or the other team would eat some of the Flames' bad
Whatever it is, whatever works to get that deal done, if it addresses something that's going on in your
in the
room.
room? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that's what you're trying to do here. If you know there's issues and you aren't trying to address them or resolve them, you're not doing your job here. I don't know that it's easy, because I think the view from a long way away is that the issues are the guys that have huge money and huge term that are the hardest things to move.
Yeah.
Like if it's like, oh, Tanev's an issue, we got to get rid of him. Yeah, fine. There's 1 year left. Hey, Nazem Kadri's an issue. Oh, there's 6 years left. That's good. No, we're not taking that. We're a contender. We're capped out already. We're not taking your Kadri for 6 years.
Is it 6? Still 6?
Well, it's 7, but one's off, so 6 now.
I thought maybe 2 or 3 years slid by there without me looking.
Felt like it last year.
Do you feel like Huska and Conroy have a good read on what's going on in their retro?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Not to say you can fix it or fix
That's
it in
the
one
problem,
off season or
yeah.
whatever, but
Huska, I think they've got it. How can't you? They've been around it. They've been immersed in it for Connie for a long, long time. Huska for 5 years or so. Like, they know what's going on. It's just, does their plan to fix it result in success?
Does it work?
Everyone thinks that they've got the answer, right? Like Danny Briere thinks he's got the answers in Philly. Drury thinks he's got the answers in New York, right? Like, there's no one out there that's going, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I guess like Jimbo's gone.
And to be fair, if you're the Flames and you're the owner, or you're John Bean, or you're Don Maloney, delicious bologna, these are the people you put in place to fix this problem. So, I mean, if you don't think these guys are trying to diffuse a lot of the issues that happened last year, I don't think you're making all these changes. Yeah. Of course, you're making these changes to address them.
To the young kids you have, can the young kids that you have move up and make a difference? That might be the biggest. All this other stuff we're talking about, move Kadri, move Huberdeau, maybe he can't. Oh, well, we can trade back. Yeah, well, there's lots of pieces to this puzzle, but if the guys that you have in your farm system aren't good enough to play, you're screwed.
Yeah, like if you have significant production, like good steps forward from Pelche and Dewar and Coronado's an everyday NHLer, that's a quarter of your forward group. And that probably allows you to look at your other forwards differently. Like, well, hey, now, I know Toffoli's a guy that's going to open a hole for us, but Coronado's filling the net quite a bit here. This might be the perfect time to sell a guy like that. Now, if Coronado's not, it makes that harder to do if you're trying to remain competitive in the short term.
Yeah, and that's what we haven't discussed at all. And that's probably as big a It's a huge piece of it. Oh, we're gonna go young. They can't play NHL hockey. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said yesterday, I like young, the good young players. I really like. If they're young, that's a bonus, I guess. But if you could get those young ones that are really good,
The ones that are good at hockey, not just young people.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, like Connor Zary had a really nice step forward after an injury riddled year prior, and he had some really weird COVID season start-stops, Western League, AHL, Western League injuries. Like if he wants to be a part at some point, that'd be really helpful. Who else was I just thinking of? Like
these are the sorts of trades
things
that sometimes you can hit home runs on.
100%.
Because you would think, how do we possibly get these young players? Well, you got to draft them or whatever. Well, sometimes these deals happen, and we'll sit here sometimes. Remember how he became a member of this team? It was back however many years ago in that trade. Like the Iginla thing, right? It was, how do you get Jerome Iginla? Well, you traded away a stud who didn't want to be here, and you hated to do it at the time, and no one really cared for the deal at the time, and worked out okay. And I'm sure there's others, like the Philip Forsberg deal. He's been unbelievable for Nashville. Well, how'd you get him? Well, you had Washington, who felt they were really close and needed
a fourth liner.
They needed Martin Erat really, really bad, so they went out and got him.
If you can find a contender that feels like they're one top 4 defenseman away, they'll start justifying moving a lot of valuable things that aren't going to help them win that year. That's his challenge. Craig's in terms of who are you going to talk to?
Craig, we know you're listening and watching. If you want to stop by the studios.
Right there in Marda Loop. It's cold out. You're not golfing.
Yeah, you're not golfing today.
Return Rhett's calls. He's available. Kids are out of school in a couple hours. They're already out.
Coffee's on, Connie.
Yeah.
Coffee's on. We're going to do the Pinder report here in a moment. But before that, I just wanted to give you a heads up specifically. I'm not doing a Betway bet today.
Good. I got you. And Kikuchi's pitching today, so I'm sure Jack's throwing something together.
So that's good. Yeah. Maybe not tomorrow.
Okay.
What's today?
Did something go wrong yesterday? Because you always
sometimes you just need to kind of reset your focus and reset the dials.
Okay.
Yeah, probably need to reset. Look at you know what? Last night I was sitting in my little office there at home, and you could say, as we're about to show you, I took a long, hard look in the mirror. Lone bet today, Toronto at Miami. Jose Barrios. Last 7 starts, a 1.81 ERA. But on the other side, Brian Hoeing, I believe, is the guy's name. It is a spot start. He is a reliever. He has not fared well in the limited starts that he's had. Toronto minus 1.5 to get a little plus 105. I'm putting it all together. That's how confident I am.
And that's a fair ball. So you might as well be comfortable. And Soler sends this one out to left center field. It gets out there in a hurry. And it cleared the wall. Cooper, left center, drops in, base hit. Well, he's going to have himself a 4-hit day.
Put together these good streaks.
Up the middle and through, a base hit for Joey Wendell. That's into right center, and that's down. 9-0 lead. And that's going to sneak through. They're not done.
5-game stretch. There he hit just like that.
Here it is. And it's popped up to Amaya at second base. He makes the catch. It's a Marlins win.
Brian Hoeing, I believe, is the guy's name. It is a spot start. He is a reliever.
MVP candidates called strike 3. And he gets a strikeout right there. 2 outs. And a called strike 3.
Ground ball after ground ball, no walks, pounding the strike zone, strike 1 with every hitter. Efficient as you can imagine. He did as good as we could ever imagine. It was awesome.
Oh my God.
There's a lot to like there, or dislike for your bet, but good work.
Did one bet to go all in. Reliever.
It's a bullpen day.
It's a bullpen day. Spot start. Just throw this guy out there.
Brian Hoeing sounds like a gardening company.
Brian Hoeing? What are we
talking about here?
So join us at the end of the program today for Ryan Pinder's Betway Bets of the day.
We're going to play the hot hand and stay away from the Jays winning anything.
So bad. Now 11-0.
That's baseball.
Yeah, been a long time since the Blue Jays have been shut out, and it had social media explode last night to the tune of this guy. They're firing the manager.
Fire the manager.
Fire the manager.
Fire the
Fire
manager.
everybody. Get rid of everybody because this is unacceptable.
Don Mattingly's right there.
Yeah.
Fire him.
Now, do we know if has that happened? We don't know if that's a fact or not.
I think there's a lot of people speculating today, but no one that's actually attached to we're an insider in Major League Baseball said that.
Yeah.
And yet people keep retweeting the non-insiders speculation. So I don't think it's happening, but there's a lot of people yelling for it because, Vladdy can't hit the fastball. That's obviously the manager's fault, right? And he told Alek Manoah to not throw strikes, didn't he?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
That's tough.
You know what? It's when we say bet the responsible way, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Take a little breather if you need
These
to.
are recommendations.
Do those later.
Be smart.
Yeah.
Be smart about it. Time for the Pinder reported presentation of Village Honda. For the entire month of June, Village Honda collecting recyclable pop cans and bottles for donation to the Cochrane Containers for Critters program.
Ooh.
Help them help pets. Stop into Village Honda today with your donation.
With that in mind, we have some of Rhett's critters in today's Pinder report.
Good.
Stay tuned at the end for that. We'll start, though, with Milan Lucic, the world's most intimidating power forward of the late 00s, early 10s.
Right, yeah.
The Flames have agreed with his agent, Jerry Johansson. Hey, go ahead, talk to people.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Remember when Brad Shilling, not allowed to talk to people. Milan Lucic, allowed to talk to people. And apparently a little bit of interest in Vancouver. This is for our boy, Rick Dollywall from the Donnie and Dolly show. I'm checking.
That makes sense.
I mean,
I
going
guess.
home. They've
Don't know
just
that he's
freed up
gonna
all
win
that
there.
cap space from OEL. You may as well burn that right away, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Probably want to
feel
go
like
where he's going to win. Right?
if you could pick,
Maybe you want to go home, I guess. You
It's
wanna win.
nice to go home too, isn't it? Win or home is
can
probably
be.
what he's thinking.
You really want to, Go win. Go win.
Hey, you know what? Luch, under all the circumstances, turned out okay. Because you were
Did.
already kind of, with the whole James Neal thing. And,
Yeah, Jimmy. The other thing, if Jimbo was still there, you might be able to suck a seventh out of these guys for
Okay.
negotiating rights, couldn't you?
Yeah,
I think so. Let's move to other kinds of flamesy news. Sean Monahan's re-upped with the Montreal Canadiens on a one-year deal, just under $2 million. The Flames, of course, packaged Monahan with a first to take him and what once felt like a discount salary off their hands last year to make room for Nazem Kadri. Now, of course, that wasn't necessarily ill-advised. Monahan had another injury-plagued season. The player we thought could score 30 in his sleep every year has long since passed, and it's really not his fault. It's injuries have really taken a toll. That's how last year ended, too. There was a thought they could sell him at the deadline for more picks. He was hurt.
Boy,
There's
would
still
they
a
be
chance for
good
that whole
shape.
thing to work out, Retro. There's still a chance
Still
for
a
that
chance.
whole thing to work out.
Imagine if they hadn't traded him and they had
Kadri.
$7 million of free money
And
and the
that
first
pick back.
rounder.
Yeah, but you sure would have missed Nazem Kadri against the Blackhawks down the stretch last year. Okay, other buyout news. Zach Cassian and Patrick Nemeth put on waivers today by Arizona. Looks like their time's coming to an end. Why pay guys when you can not pay them, right, Arizona? Huh?
Yeah.
If you want Zach Cassian, there's really going to be available.
I don't know if I need.
Maybe 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Let's go to baseball. Lots of baseball, not a lot of hockey. Sorry, Rhett. Might lose you. Here's the rumors of rumors. This is former Leafs beat reporter Howard Berger, multi-sport athlete or reporter, I should say. He's suggesting Don Mattingly's going to replace John Schneider. This is the smoke you were alluding to. No one near the team, though, suggesting this, which is probably crucial in this whole thing.
But that's how it works when you have your sources. Sources don't say, hey, I'm a source.
Well, I hope this guy's in the source.
I got loose lips.
Don't sink ships. As for yesterday, it was indeed Luis Arise, the former Twin, who just hits. 102 hits this year. That's more than the Yankees have from people not named Aaron Judge. It's an incredible year. He had 5 hits yesterday against the Jays. And was back over 400 Rhett for the season on his batting average. That feels like a number.
Did I see it's his third 5-hit game of.
I mean, you're hitting 400, you're going to have some monster days.
He has more hits than the Yankees.
Then all of them subtracting Aaron Judge's hits. The rest of the Yankees, 8 of them, less hits than Arise. which is how you hit 400, I bet. You got to be good. Okay, so we move from there. We love walk-offs, right? Now, there's special places for walk-offs, too. Here are the Giants against the divisional rival Padres at home. And you remember what's out in just over the wall at right field? This will remind you. The video here is we have Yastrzemski.
Right field, it is out of here.
Nothing like a...
And we are going home.
Extra innings, 3-run shot into McCovey Cove, comeback victory. Good place to be there yesterday, I think.
Baseball.
Staying in California, they've got other good baseball players too, not just young Yaz. But here are the Los Angeles Angels leaders on both the hitting side and pitching side, just to see what's going on with the Angels. Let's show the hitting stats first here. Ohtani. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So he's leading them in on base, slugging, on base plus slugging, hits, runs, stolen bases, RBIs, home runs, and average. Also, there's one other there. I can't see what it says, but yeah, he's very good. Very good. But what about their pitchers? Let's see there. Ohtani. That's ERA, wins, shutouts, whip, batting average against, and innings. Not bad. Feels like he's going to make a little money this winter, Rhett. Free agent.
Come on, Jays. Get him. Pick him up.
$500 million. Let's go. 50 times 10. Pitch and hit.
It has never played a playoff game.
No, and is on the same team as Mike Trout. These things do not seem possible, but it is baseball. Odd. A few more for you. Let's go to minor league ball. This is big-time minor league ball season, Rhett, and we love minor league ball. Why? Because we get crazy manager ejections, we get hammered fans, we get all kinds of amazing things. Let's start with our first minor league baseball clip of the day, which I believe... Okay, look at how jacked up this guy is. Twitching, he's spinning, he's licking, he's biting, chomping. Big twitch. Oh my God. Got him. Jacked up. 18 coffees before the inning. Haven't seen.
Jeez.
Just got to get amped up to get that last strike. We'll stay there. I believe now we have a bit of an umpire-player disagreement, Rhett.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, it ended well, at least comedically. This is awesome. So player gets thrown from the game, goes to the dugout.
And obviously said a magic word or two to get him tossed out of the game, so Metzger has been ejected here.
What are you doing
Metzger
with the garbage, sir?
is not done yet. He's going to do something here with a garbage can. And,
oh, he puts it right where the umpire stands.
And he put the garbage can behind home plate.
Because he's kind of relaying to the...
You're trash.
Yeah, that's what
You're
he's saying.
garbage. Your work has no value.
In not so many words. That's what he's trying to get across there.
I think you got this point across.
Yeah.
And finally, fans at minor league games, you ever see the beer pyramids, right, where they stack up the cans or the snakes with the glasses? Had a great one going here until somebody screwed. Oh, jeez.
You know,
all that work. The birds. Throwing birds now.
How's it not a scrap?
That's tough.
It's a hell of a shot. Do that at Stampede, you go home with a stuffy.
Either that or a black eye. Maybe both. Last couple for you. Rhett Shoveler sent us videos of your cats again. Remember, you had the cats doing pottery yesterday.
Love cats.
We've got the cats getting into some mischief. Now, I don't know what this is, if this is flour in the kitchen or what, but your cat dumped its head in there, and it looks like a hell demon. I don't even know. He's got a mustache. What the hell's happening?
Whiskers.
Now, is that Memphis, Rhett, that they got into the powder there?
Oh, that's not Memphis. Memphis is great.
Oh,
That's where that... That's right. Come on, Ryan.
And then I think Memphis had kittens because Memphis was gray. Here are the kittens. They're getting in the way of Rhett's workout. We got some video of it.
A lot of cat videos.
Sorry, Rhett. Oh, look at the squats. He's getting nice and low. That is your Pinder report for this allegedly 20th day of June. It can't be that late in June. How did we get here?
Oh, this is dog days, eh?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
a lot.
pretty
This
good.
is definitely
Brought to you by Village Honda. You know what? Get road trip ready. Everybody's getting ready for
It's
the
true.
summer. Head out. The essentials, the detail starting package at $79.95 from Village Honda. Service, all makes and models. Stop in. Meet their award-winning service department. They're worth the trip. It's Village Honda, your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They're your dealership for life.
Should have seen Anthony off the tee yesterday. Some monster.
He'd be a bomber,
drives.
eh?
Big boy.
Yeah. You never said how you did.
We were 8 under, which with all the sandbaggers out there, not even close.
Lots of
I think
cheaters.
16 under won it in like 6 degrees and rain and wind. Sure.
Did you get anything? Was there
Theo
any,
won. No,
what were
Theo
the-
came second.
any prizes?
No, there was. So we were not in the prizes.
Any gifts?
The steak. I got a steak.
Which you said was awesome.
Not the best steak I've ever had, but not the worst. Good steak.
Oh, you were saying it
Fine.
was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said it was a really good steak.
It was a really good.
What happened to
steak.
Frank?
Frank, tomorrow.
Frank tomorrow.
Well, you said today, yesterday.
I know, and I got a text late last night. Really late for him because, as you know, Eastern time zone.
True.
Apologetic. Asked if he could do Wednesday. Had something on the go today.
He's off to the draft right away here. He's in on the weekend there. to
There's a
Nashville.
lot of guys because we've been kind of plotting our strategy, I guess.
We're in Nashville
Some
next
guys are-
week.
Guys are going on Sunday
It's like, dude, the draft
and
is
leaving set. Holy,
full week.
book your IVs.
Book your casket. A week in Nashville.
I don't know.
Oof.
What do the Oiler guys always have? Like, what are you doing there on Sunday?
Do they even have a first round pick this year?
I
What
don't
are,
even
what are you
know.
doing down there?
What are you guys doing down there?
Frank said there's a big dinner on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Guess you
convenient.
guys
for-
weren't invited.
Guess not.
Huh.
You want to do your Betway bet?
You're on the hiatus. I'll do my best here. I'm gonna try to learn from you, Dean,
Not
because
doing it today.
yesterday didn't go well for you, and I'm gonna, I guess, try to learn from your mistakes of
That'd be great.
betting on the Jays to be good when right now they are in a bad way. Luis Ariz had 5 hits yesterday.
Yeah, we saw it. Betway Bets. Get your Betway app on your phone. Play along. Bet the responsible way. Have some fun with
All
it,
right,
right?
okay.
And whatever Pinder has for you here, suggestions, recommendations.
Don't
go
put your mortgage on
Yeah,
this now. Okay.
just have some fun.
So Ariz, 5 hits yesterday,
Yeah.
over 1.5 today, total bases. A single double wins us, never mind multiple singles, plus 125, like that number. And Guerrero is in a bad way. He's the cooler right now. Under a half hit, so no bases today. You can take a walk, can't get a hit, plus 145. Doesn't feel good making these bets, but that's the way things have been going here. Ariz red hot, Guerrero ice cold. Those are your Betway bets of the day.
There you go. Betway Bets. Thank you to Betway, the official betting and gaming partner of Barn Burner. You're going for soup. Retro. You have what plans do you have for this grade 8 grad? Do you need to get a tux? You got to get haircut, shoe shine?
I wasn't even going to go, so I'm completely unprepared, but
Yeah.
somehow I'll pull it all together. Maybe I'll shave.
Just leave the mustache, shave everything else. I think your kid would appreciate that.
Maybe.
It's not really. Summers are tough times to pull the stash off. Feels like late. That's a late fall kind of deal.
Well, I guess. I mean,
People don't recognize Pinder anymore. That's where he's at.
that is true.
With the hair and the beard and that. He's running into people at social
I'm going to
events
show you my media pass. This is so good.
who are say, hi, how are you? That's Ryan Pinder. Oh, hey, Ryan.
Look at this clean cut
I don't
idiot.
think anyone can.
Who's
Whoa.
that nerd?
Is this a what?
Who is this? Who are
Is
you?
this a midlife type of thing?
It was. Now I just don't know where to take it. So yeah, it for sure was a midlife thing, but
Because you were even
Perhaps
kind of
back to
sculpting it.
respectable.
I've just kind of quit for a while.
Yeah, you were
I
kind
need
of
to go
it
today.
shaped.
If we get any more meetings canceled, I'll go shave my beard today.
Oh, I think you look great.
Thanks, Dean.
Yeah, I think you look great. So tomorrow on the show, Frank Seravalli, our NHL insider.
Good. Yeah.
We'll see what he's hearing. There's a lot of chatter out there about Noah Hannafin, almost too much for there not to be something going on.
Look,
And we
round
do believe
one's
there's
in
something
8
going on.
days.
Yeah.
If you're going to turn him into a first rounder, like there's your window.
Yeah. And as is always the case, there's a lot of teams came close, not close enough. They got things to do. Do you have a pick? Do you not need a pick? What do you need? There's, I think that there will be. We say this every year, and I don't know if it's necessarily wrong every year, but it does feel like there could be some things shaken in the next week.
Frank said it last week. There's 2 times a year this trades get made in this league. deadline and the week ahead of the draft.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Retro, appreciate you, bud.
Thanks, Dean.
We'll chat tomorrow, Rhett.
That'll do it, everybody. Have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow.